Hey folks, welcome to another video. Thank you for tuning in. So this is a continuation of the newer player videos that I've been featuring. So today we're going to talk about the next stage of scenario, but before I get into that, I reached level 7 last video and I'm excited because I'm going to buy this, the Temple of Wishes. Let's buy that. Let's put that over here. Now, why am I excited about Temple of Wishes? Do you remember back in the first episode of the series, I talked about the blessings that you get for the first 14 days. And one of those blessings was 2 wishes instead of 1. So I'm going to use my 2 wishes now. Okay, let's talk about this Temple of Wishes. Now, as you can see, I've got 12 spaces. And when I click the wish, it's going to spin around like a wheel. And a lot of people get a little bit salty about this wheel because they go, it's not accurate, it's not equal chances of getting everything in the wish. And you know, no, it's not equal chances. I don't know who thought that was going to be the case. It might look like it's going to be, but it never is. Now if you look at the bottom left corner of my screen right now, there's a really small question mark with the word rate next to it. So let me click on that, and this tells me my drop chances from my Temple of Wishes here. So Rainbow Mon is just under 2% chance. Angel Mon, 2% chance. So the Rainbow Mon is that thing with wings with a halo, and the Angel Mons are the things with wings with crowns. Okay. Go back to the rate quickly. Go back to the rate quickly. So it tells me I've got 20% chance to collect the smaller crystals, and that I have a 2% chance for the large amount, 30% chance for the mana stones, so obviously that is probably going to be more than likely what I collect. 2% chance for the increased size of mana stones, 1.5% for the extreme high amount of mana stones. 15 energy is 24%, so 1/4, 1 of every 4 spins on the Temple of Wishes. I'm probably going to get one of those. Arena invitations are just over 10%. Mystical Scroll 2%. Runes 1.5, and the monster 0.5. Can I just quickly say, don't get too excited about the monster, because chances are it's going to be something cheap and easy that you'll summon anyway. I've only summoned a Nat 5 once from the Temple of Wishes. Then you got the Rainbow Mons, and you got the runes and the qualities and the percentages of their drops if you do happen to land on that. Alright, let's go for a spin. Let's see what I get. After telling you all my... So it's either going to be more likely the 15 crystal, the 10,000 mana stones, or the 15 energy. Yeah? Oh, Rainbow Mon. Rainbow Mon. I got a Rainbow Mon. We'll see what Rainbow Mon we got. Let's go for the second spin. So remember when I said back when we started this series, try and get up to this stage before you quit for the day, because you want to abuse the fact you get, there we go, 10,000 mana stones. You're going to get 2 wishes, 2 free things every day. Nothing to complain about. All right, so let's have a look. What star level do you get for the Rainbow Mon? Come on. Oh, 3-star. That's not bad. All right, so Temple of Wishes. Yay. All right, let's get into the scenario. So today's scenario is Tilane Forest. This drop is Focus Runes. So I'll talk briefly about Focus Runes while we get into that. Now, at this point of the game, remember last scenario at the boss stage I stated that you're probably going to need a rep. This stage you probably won't need a rep. You can get away with the Water Magic Knight, the Water Fairy, the Light Garuda, and the Light Elven Ranger. I'm not using them because I'm cheating and I've got a Vampire Lord. Alright. So let's continue this. Yeah, you're going to talk to me for a bit. If you're going to enjoy the storyline, yeah, go for it. As I said, I'm not doing that for this purpose. I've gone through that story I don't know how many times since playing the game. When you look at the fact I've created 2, 3, 4 accounts, 5 accounts. This one's my 6th now. Am I likely to keep this account? I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll find out. Alright, so let's talk about the rune that you're getting here. So remembering before, like every other scenario, you've got 7 stages. Stages 1 will drop me 1 slot runes. Stage 2 will drop me 2 slot runes. 3 slot rune. 4 slot rune, etc, etc. Stage 7, the boss stage, will drop me a random slot rune. Okay. Or any other things that you can get, mystical scrolls, not mystical scrolls, sorry, unknown scrolls, mystical scrolls. Oh, that would be nice in scenario. All right, so probably the thing I want to say to you though, keep talking at me. What is focus runes? So that's what we're getting here is focus. Now focus, remember last video I showed you where you can get them in the dungeon, which is in Dragon. But focus here is a 2 slot rune. So that means out of your 6 slots, at least if 2 of them have focus runes, you'll get the benefit from having the 2 slots, those 2 runes together. Now in this case, the benefit is 20% increase in accuracy. So that's going to lead me to an interesting conversation. Accuracy. What on earth is accuracy used for? Now accuracy, if you noticed my Magic Knight there, just got a red thing on it. Looks like a broken shield. What that is called a death break, and that is a debuff that creature, when it attacked, successfully applied onto my Magic Knight. Now how you apply debuffs is via a skill that says it can do that. Now in the case of my Magic Knight, she can apply a death break on her second skill. Yeah. So what I might do, just bear with me for a second, I'm going to manually try and get to her. I'll just bring her back up. Okay, so there's her 3 skills. I'm going to click on the second one just to read it. Shoots 4 magic bullets that seek enemies with low HP ratio. The bullets have a 50% chance to decrease the target's defense for 2 turns. Now what that means is each one of her attacks, the skill will have a 50% chance to try and apply. Okay, not actually, this is before the accuracy check, so it will go out of the 4 hits, 2 of them, statistically speaking, are going to try and apply a death break on the enemies that it's attacking. Now, so that's the first part. The second part is the accuracy and resistance check. Now, accuracy and resistance check, I'm going to let this go back into it. Accuracy and resistance check works like this. Now, this is off the top of my head, so if I get this wrong, I apologize, people. So if someone watches this video and goes, you got it wrong, write it in the comments section below. But how it works is like this. Let's say I have a monster with 50% resistance, and you attack with your Water Magic Knight there with 20% resistance. It is resistance minus the accuracy, and that's the chances of applying it. Is that right, or is it accuracy minus? No, it's resistance minus the accuracy. Now, that scenario doesn't look very good because the person still has a 30% resistance against the debuff being successfully applied. Okay, so I'm using a pretty bad example. Now, if let's say I had 50% accuracy, and my opponent had only 20% resistance, you'd go, well, that's easy. I'm definitely going to apply that debuff on them. Well, actually, no, you're not, because RNG is a nasty thing. So in the case of this, the actual formula is resistance minus accuracy, and then regardless of the result, 15% resistance will remain. So to put that in perspective, 50% accuracy against a 20% resistance monster, minus 30, up to 15% resistance. So they always have a 15% chance of rejecting the debuff. Does that make sense? Okay, so realistically, the maximum accuracy you want on any monster is 100% is the maximum you can have, but the maximum you really want is 85. Any more above that is a waste. But that's what accuracy is. So accuracy is what helps your monster apply debuffs on the monsters that you're attacking. Okay, so that's what those red things that you would have seen leading through the series are. They're debuffs. Your monsters will try applying debuffs, and they mean various things. So in the case of Death Break, that means that I think 70% reduced defense. Defense is what reduces the damage that a creature does. So a defense break means the damage I'm going to deal that creature with a defense break is substantially increased. Now the other debuff you would have just seen then is attack break. Attack break reduces the amount of damage that creature can hit out. Now those blue things you're seeing on those creatures was attack buff and a new buff that only just came out in the recent update, which only the Vampire Lord can apply, which is the creatures with that buff will drain life like a vampire. Okay, now buffs, unlike debuffs, they don't require an accuracy check, they just will happen. So if a monster applies a buff to something, it will just happen. Okay, I hope that makes sense in regards to accuracy. They are very different things. So a lot of people confuse accuracy. Like if I read that skill before with the Magic Knight 50% chance, they go, it's got a 50% chance of applying the debuff. No. Well, yes, it has a 50% chance to try and do it. So it checks to see if it's going to try and apply it. And then the accuracy resistance check happens and determines whether it's successfully applied. Does that make sense? Okay. So focus runes actually are quite useful for those monsters that you feel need a bit of accuracy, but don't need huge amount of accuracy. Now, the other thing I should mention about 2 sets, which I haven't all the way through this series, and it's probably been a complete accident that I haven't, and that is, you could actually, if you wanted to, so in the case of focus, I could actually equip a monster using all 6 of their slots with focus runes. And what that does is increase their accuracy by 60%, 20% for every 2 set. So they are stackable, if that makes sense. So with energy, if I was doing a monster with 6 slots and I gave them all 6 slots to energy, I've just increased that monster's HP by 45%, 15% for each 2 set. Okay, so 2 sets can be stackable in that sense. I rarely use monsters runes like that. I often like using a 4 set and a 2 set. I don't like using broken. Broken means using a, not completing a set. So, 1 focus rune, 1 energy rune, and a set of fatal. That's the focus and the energy are broken sets in that example. Now this stage here, you'll be using a rep again. If you've still got your monsters unruined, which I would normally do. So, because I've got a Vampire Lord, I'm cheating. I don't need my reps just yet. Okay. Alright, so that's the end of that scenario. Now they're going to talk at me. My reward for this scenario, when it gets there, is 6 Blade 3-star runes. Honestly, again, that's not really that great. I mean, it's probably better than what you've currently received, but I wouldn't be over the moon about that. Again, I wouldn't bother ruining. I'd probably end up just selling them, to be honest, but that's just me. Blah, 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 blah. Keep talking at me. Okay, brilliant. Now, the reason I've done that is, can you see there's an exclamation mark with another 2 swords over the top of each other? That means one of those other rivals back here in the arena will be available. So it won't be available now because I didn't click on it, but when I click on it, Razak will become unlocked and I can spam that. So I recommend you doing that as soon as you can as well. I think that's it for me for this video. Yes, it is. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.